Today, we will learn how to create pivot tables in Excel more efficiently by naming our data range once and reusing it instead of repeatedly selecting it. This will help you save time, avoid mistakes, and quickly build basic, intermediate, and advanced pivot tables for your analysis. By the end of this tutorial, you will know how to calculate totals, averages, counts, and percentages, as well as perform month-over-month comparisons and branch-wise breakdowns with ease. First, whenever we create a pivot table, we usually have to select our data range. But if we are making multiple pivot tables, this becomes repetitive. To make the process easier, we can name our entire data range once and reuse it every time. To do this, select your full dataset, go to the name box, type something like data, and press enter. Now our whole range is given a name, and we can simply type that name whenever Excel asks for a range. Let me show you how it helps. If we want to create a pivot table for total sales by payment method, first select any cell, go to the Insert tab, and click on Pivot Table. When the dialog box appears asking for the table or range, instead of selecting it manually, type Data and click OK. Now we have the blank pivot table layout ready. For this example, we will drag payment method into the rows area and total sales into the values area. By default, pivot tables use the sum calculation, but we can change it if needed. If we want the number of transactions by payment method, we still put payment method in the rows, but for values we will use date. Since we want the number of transactions, we will use the count function. Drag date into the values area, and it will automatically use count, showing us the total transaction count for each payment method. For average sale per payment method, we again put payment method in rows and total sales in values. Then click the drop-down on Sum of Total Sales, choose Value Field Settings, and change the function from Sum to Average. Click OK, and now we see the average sales per payment method. For total profit by payment method, we take payment method in rows and profit in values. This automatically gives us sum of profit. For gross margin percentage by payment method, we again put payment method in rows and gross margin in values. Just like before, we change the calculation to average using value field settings. Now let's move to some intermediate pivot tables. For monthly sales by payment method, we use month in rows, payment method in columns, and total sales in values. This gives us a month-by-month breakdown for each payment method with grand totals. For branch-wise sales by payment method, we use branch in rows, payment method in columns, and sum of total sales in values. Similarly, for product category sales by payment method, we put product category in rows, payment method in columns, and sum of total sales in values. For average quantity per transaction by payment method, put payment method in rows and quantity in values. Change the calculation from sum to count, and you will see the average quantity per transaction for each payment method. For sales grade distribution by payment method, we use sales grade in rows, payment method in columns, and sales grade again in values. By default, it counts the occurrences, giving us a clear view of how each grade is distributed across payment methods. Now for the advanced pivot tables. First, month-over-month change in sales by payment method. We use month in rows, payment method in columns, and total sales in values. Then in value field settings, go to Show Values As, choose Percentage Difference From, and select Month as the base field with January as the base item. This gives us percentage changes compared to January. For profit contribution percentage by payment method, put payment method in rows and profit in values. Then use show values as and choose percentage of grand total. This shows how much each payment method contributes to the total profit. Finally, for monthly sales by branch and payment method, place branch and month together in rows, payment method in columns, and total sales in values. This lets us drill down from branch to month and then to payment method. By the end of this tutorial, you will be able to create basic, intermediate, and advanced pivot tables in Excel efficiently without repeatedly selecting your data range. Let me know if you liked this tutorial.